Okay, I just made a Colts video predicting Sunday's matchup on Tuesday. It's crazy, isn't it? But let's be lighthearted and fun on this beautiful Tuesday. Even though it's nighttime, I don't know if it's going to be a beautiful day. It's probably cold and snowy here in Indiana. And that's exactly what I want to talk about. Indiana. The Hoosiers are playing Ohio State. And I don't want to really talk much about the game, but more about the media circus of thinking that this game isn't really big, right? College game day is not coming to this, and people are going to say, okay, well, why would they come back to Ohio State? They haven't gone to one IU game, none. Indiana's 12-0. They've gone to 0 Indiana college game day games. By that I mean actually coming to the state. Luke, they went to Oregon versus Indiana. Yeah, they went to Oregon. They have not been in the great state of Indiana, and I say great state. They've not been here. And I think that's crazy. I think it is crazy how there's a painted picture of this game like it's over already, right? It's Tuesday. And, obviously I made my Colts prediction, so I'm acting like that game's already decided in my head. But this game is far from decided in my head. This is a game that I won't have predicted probably until Saturday morning, right? Or Friday night. This is a game that I need time to think about. And I think that with the media and all of this acting like Ohio State is the clear-cut number one no matter what, and they still have to play number two basically at home, right? Indiana's going to be at home. They're in Indianapolis. I find that funny. But I don't think it's weird. And let me preface by saying this. Ohio State is one of the biggest brands in America. Okay, when you think of sports teams, they just are, right? You got the Lakers, the Celtics, the Patriots, Packers, right? You have all these big teams. Everybody knows them. Everybody buys their stuff from different places. And obviously the home team crowd of that's huge and they travel. That's Ohio State. And then you have teams like Vanderbilt, right? Teams like Indiana. Teams like Ole Miss who do good enough that they're 11-1 and their coach still leaves them. Okay, the reason I'm mentioning this is because being a little team in a little school puts you at such a disadvantage, even in the NIL era. Because when the game's on the line, the refs are going to start to get involved. Because people are going to be like, Luke, it's Big Ten refs. I'm aware, but they're used to reffing Ohio State games. I promise you that these refs will have reffed way more Ohio State games than they will Indiana games. Indiana has to play all the time at like 3:30 during the what I call the nothing window, the ghost window, the no good games are on window, where people are kind of taking naps. I know I take a nap at 3:30 on Saturday. Maybe that's because my work schedule. My point is, Ohio State always gets the kickoff game or gets a late game, 7:30. Indiana gets put in the nowhere zone. So they get put in the nowhere zone. They really only have fans here in the state right now. So why would the media care? Big Noon Kickoff's going to be there. All they do is Big Ten and football. So, of course, right? And who are their correspondents? Oh, right. Urban Meyer, Mark Ingram, Matt Leinart. All these guys from big schools. There's no Indiana alum on there. Why would there be? Because this is not an Indiana team that we've seen before. So, this is what I ask from you. If you have not watched this Indiana team, do your best to just watch some highlights. And if the highlights don't do enough, maybe you can somehow find ways to stream full games, playbacks back on Hulu or something like that. And if you can't do any of that, just know this. I saw this comment. Ohio State has a better quarterback, tight end, running back, O-line, D-line, cornerbacks, linebackers. And in a way, I agree with mostly all of that. Although I think Mendoza is better than Sayin because he's played more time than Sayin. What I'll tell you is this, and again, I have not made a prediction. Indiana, right, if Ohio State players are all that high tier, Indiana's right here, okay? Last year, Indiana was probably right here. So they've closed the gap. So don't expect it to be a blowout. Expect it to be a game. If you're picking Ohio State, if you're picking Indiana, and you're doing it by more than a touchdown, I'm shocked. And when was the last time I said this? Indiana, Oregon. You saw how that went. I'll see you guys later in the week with the prediction on the actual game. And this one is going to be better than the game. Sorry, Michigan fans.